know if I'm going live. Okay, so excuse my small energy on this reading. Just gotta kind of run through it. I haven't used the 40 Servants deck yet, so that will be new for me. Okay, so the first line that you got was 7 Pentacles, Queen of Wands, 3 of Wands, and 6 of Wands. It's this one. This one. This one. This one. It's basically this line, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. It's basically, okay, this fella, if you'll notice, is tending a garden. He's making sure everything is completely fine, everything is growing, everything is, being taken care of, but it's not his garden. So basically what I get from this is you've put a lot of time and effort and energy and stuff into this, and you're kind of just waiting for the rewards, which, well, they're not, like your education, it's not tangible. It's not something that you're going to eventually be able to, hold in your hand, but you're going to be able to do something with that later on. So, I mean, your efforts have not been for nothing. You've set that up and you've done what you could. You've done the best you could with that. So, all that has been taken care of course. Duh. You're reaching the end of your thing here. So, the Queen of Wands really has to do with everything that you've learned and everything that you've taken into account so far now with this learning and gathering up, etc. This girl, if you'll notice, her throne is on solid footing, even though she's in like sand kind of area. Everything else around her is kind of like shifty and kind of the nature of, I suppose, like, I don't even know if you're being a doctor, like, but I guess the nature of, medicine and learning and that kind of area of life is, I guess, constantly shifting, but you kind of have a solid base kind of to go from, and also you have a pretty good grasp on your intuition. These are the things that have been given to you kind of in a sense of your education and your gathering of knowledge and things. And this is kind of putting you in the position of like, you are now in control, you are now in charge, and you now can kind of put your own spin on things in the sense that you have good ideas, you have good ideals, and you have, the imagination and intuition to kind of pull yourself into new and interesting directions. So you're really interested and intrigued, I suppose, at being able to kind of take what you've learned and kind of rule from that, or kind of rule from that pile, you know what I mean? This also kind of goes along with that in the sense that it's time to kind of move on. You see the sun is setting kind of where he stands currently. He's kind of abandoning some things that he's learned along the way, and he's got a really solid sense of what he wants and what he thinks that he can take along into this journey, into the new place that he's going. So there's a lot of confidence in these cards, and this one is the homecoming card, of course. So, I mean, there's, a big celebration. So you're going to get through it. It's going to be awesome. And when you do finally get through it, you'll get the recognition that you deserve and the recognition that actually is coming to you because of as the result of all of this work that you've put through. This top one is it's ironic that you're pretty jittery about it, because this is a pretty calm top row. It's kind of really focused and really, 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 really strong sense of like guts, kind of like this is something that I'm going to be taking along. However, there's some little bits of haze. What are you doing, Sears? So the second row It's a little bit more of a like further explanation, kind of further down the road journey sort of thing as well, but also kind of a reassurance as well of what exactly you're doing. The King of Swords is a very strong character, especially in regards to the Queen of Wands. I mean, okay, so first, second row is this one, King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. Really interesting. That's why I'm probably thinking of medicine. So again, the King of Swords, he's kind of a dick, to be completely honest. He's a dick card. But he's very like he's focused and he knows exactly what he wants. He knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he's in control of his domain, I suppose. And it's he's good. He's strong. He's solid. There's nothing wrong with him except if you'll notice he kind of hides a little bit. Like the red color is kind of like passion and action and things like that. He's kind of hiding a little bit. And also the butterflies. If you'll notice, this one has the lions, this one has the butterflies. So this one is more solid in their convictions. This one, although is a more intuitive card, is more solid about it. It's more realistic. It's more and this guy, there's a danger here, especially coupled with this one. This is what really bothers me, is because if you'll notice in this one, this guy's kind of like everything is fine. He's in a perfect place. It's wonderful. Everything is all set up. He's rich, but like the only thing that's paying attention to him in this regard is the dogs. Like his, everything that he's provided for is for nothing because of maybe there's too stubborn. It's not a stubbornness either. It's like your ideas may not necessarily always be the correct ones. And so that intuition, you might want to watch out for that intuition a little bit. While ideals and dreaming is fantastic and it's really, really good to come from that place, it's also you have to make sure, because whatever you're doing is like it really needs like a solid ground in reality. And if you follow the ideals pattern and you follow too much of your intuition and you don't kind of, if you miss the social part of things and you miss what's actually going on in the in the actual reality of things, you're going to miss something, and that's going to make you veer off course, if that makes any sense to you at all. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to not just what you can bring to the table, but also what is actually currently on the table. And then these two cards are, of course, good cards. I mean, it's well provided for, well taken care of. All of your, dreams and ideas and stuff are kind of taken care of in the material sense. It's a good path to be on. It's a good decision that you've made, and you're going to be able to get her done. And also, this one is again with the making sure you're charitably kind of like exchanging information, not to get anything out of it, not to kind of advance yourself in any way, but just for the simple fact of like sharing and being social and kind of like, the spirit and kinship of, the interaction. The interaction itself is the most important, not necessarily getting things done when you want them to be done. So what I'll do now, I guess, is I've never done this before. I'll take these cards and I'll shuffle them into the servants, and then I will take a technique that I learned with the servants and see what I get from that. These inside here. I really hope that made sense. Or that helped in some kind of way. I'm really hoping that these oracle cards will do exactly what I'm thinking they're going to do. Okay, so let's see. Doing it again. Hey, silly cards. All right, so basically, okay, so what I've been trying to do is kind of just match them up, or I mean, you saw what I did, and then each card kind of mirrors, like, or gives advice in relation to the cards that were pulled originally. Okay. So your first one was this one, this one. So. Mhm. Mhm. This one. This one. See how they were both the opposites? That's funny. Okay, so I also haven't looked at the guidebook for the 47, so this whole part is just experimental as far as I'm concerned. So this top row, my initial thought was that it was a calm top row. It's kind of yeah, you're really kind of in control at this point, and you're really, you have all of these ideals and things. So this one's mirror. What's this one? The balancer. I suppose again, kind of reinforcing the fact that you've been making all of these decisions that are probably in your best interests. It's interesting that she's doing the magician thing because the 6-7 of Pentacles is moderately close to the magician in the sense that he's able to kind of manipulate and control his situation in the way that he sees fit. Um, the Queen of Wands is mirror, of course, is the witch. So you do have the ability, and you do have the power, and you do have the knowledge and everything. You've really done a good job in gathering your knowledge and things. But again, make sure that you're looking at the entire picture, and make sure that you're looking at the table instead of, trying to see how to change the table or make the table better, or, maybe the table needed a different color, or it needed like a 3/4 shave off of the legs, or you know what I mean. It's a table. Look at it, use it for what you can. This one's mirror. Again, he's abandoning some things that he doesn't necessarily agree with or whatever, blah, blah. He has his own solid sense of where he's going, and the mirror is the eye. So, there's, you have the ability to see where you need to go. You have the ability to get there. Take a second look at what you're abandoning or what you're leaving behind. Take a second look and see if there's something there that you're maybe missing that you can't see. And the homecomings mirror is the father. Go figure. This will probably give you the validation and the recognition that you deserve and that you need and that you want in your life. Like it is coming. So once you get through, the journey of getting to that new place, once you get to that new place and you are kind of well on your way and you are established in yourself, that's when you're going to be able to kind of have that kind of deep deep kind of feeling. Oh God, Freudian slips. Okay, so the second line here was, okay, what was it? The King of Swords. Was this guy? This guy. Again, almost direct opposite again. Okay, that must mean something. I wonder if I could have read them backwards, because that was my initial. I wanted to read just the line backwards, but anyway. Okay, King of Swords. King of Swords' mirror is the Saint. Again, like there's nothing wrong here, but there's something. You know what I mean? There's something in my brain that's like, watch out for something in regards to this. There's something that is not being understood. There's a yeah, fuck. And then the lonely guy that I was talking about, where if, you know, he's focusing too much on the wrong things, that's his mirror is the monk. And I mean, you know, like, you really need to watch where you're putting your focus. You really, really need to make sure that you're not following an echo down a cave. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but these cards are your like, hey, biggest worries. And that's really what you have to kind of think about, is pay attention, like really pay attention. And then you're happy, everything, you know, your dreams and ideals and things are taken care of, etc., is mirrored by the idea, which of course you probably have strong enough intuition that you're able to kind of bring your ideas into the real world. Just make sure that you're not pushing anything else off of the table in that sense. And the spirit, charity, sharing things, etc., is mirrored by the chaste, which again follows my advice of do these things in the spirit of cooperation and do them in the spirit of sharing and for no reason, no gain. There's, you know, it's just kind of, you'll get more done by giving things away and doing it with a pure intention, if that makes sense. So that's what I get from that reading. I hope it was worth it. I 100% sincerely very much appreciate your support. And if you have any questions in regards to the reading, or if you have any follow-up questions, free of charge, don't worry about it. Just pull more cards. It's no problem. And yep, we shall see you later, guys.